We have a teacher who was arrested for striking her son 22 times, and it was all caught on camera. Unfortunately, I have to blur the video because it is graphic and it may upset some people, but we're not going to waste no more time. Let's go and get straight into it.
No, you're not fucking sorry. Because if you were fucking sorry, you wouldn't do this stupid shit to begin with. You wouldn't make extra work on everybody else in this house because you won't clean up after yourself. Because you don't do what you're
Oh,
supposed to do.
oh,
Do you
doggy,
understand me?
doggy already knew.
Ow, ow, ow,
Oh, shit. That's enough, lady. Lady, that's enough. Lady, please, spare him.
You know what? Get up! Get up! Everybody else
God.
fucking policeman to your goddamn work a while ago, and she run off down to the fucking neighbor's house. Ow!
That was tough to see. Now, I seen this video maybe 2 days ago, and then I was sent this video, and I was like, yeah, let me go and cover this because I think that people need to understand the difference between discipline and abuse. And there is a fine line between discipline and abuse. Now, he was 12 years old. He's older, but still. What type of example are you setting? And you have other children in the home. I think it said that she was a second grade teacher. I have some information on this. So Randy Nicole Staples, a 44-year-old second grade teacher at Cottage Hill Christian Academy in Mobile, Alabama, was arrested on November 19th, 2025. A disturbing video surfaced showing her allegedly beating her 12-year-old son. She was charged with a felony of willful abuse of a child under 18 by Mobile County Sheriff's Office. This video, which circulated briefly on Facebook before being deleted, reportedly captured 22 strikes in 14 seconds using a belt-like object. Paul Birch described the conduct as repulsive and emphasized that the actions are far beyond acceptable discipline. I know there are a few different viewpoints on discipline with children. My opinion on that is not every children can be dealt with the same way. You understand what I'm saying? Some children can take verbal. You can tell them not to do something, and that'll be all it is. But some children will test you just a little bit more. My whole philosophy with that is, first of all, 22 strikes is way beyond what should have been done. I know some people not to use belts and stuff like that. Okay, fair enough. But I think that it's better to get the discipline at home, in the house, because if these actions that are unacceptable are left unchecked for long enough, these children will grow up and they will think that they can do this outside of the house. So you have to set a boundary between you and your children, and you have to make sure that when you're disciplining them, they understand why you're doing it. You not just disciplining them and it's just do as I say without question. Explain to them why you're doing what you do. If I have to discipline my children, I explain to them why I'm doing this. It's not, and I explain to them like this is not what I want to do. But if I don't put my foot down, if I don't build that respect between us, you could possibly, very well possibly grow up and think that you can get away with this stuff with other people. And let me tell you something, the world is not going to be as forgiving as your parents are. You understand what I'm saying? The world's not going to give two fucks about why you did what you did or your upbringing or anything. They're just going to lay the hammer down on you. And I see this with children that end up growing up with their elderly grandparents because their parents, for whatever reason, weren't in their lives or they didn't have a strong male role model. I do believe that a two-parent household is ideal, but I think a male may is just as important or more important than a mother. Women and men alike will agree that a single father is a better parent than a single mother. Now, I'll leave it up to y'all to decide. But I digress on that. A male structure, they see the world a little different. They understand that, okay, if you're a mom taking care of a boy, you can't teach a boy how to be a man, vice versa. A male being able to be in the household and give a boy structure, and a daughter too, it may be even more for a daughter, depending on how the mother is. For instance, it was one night I was at Applebee's with my girl, right? And I see these three women walk in. Two were older and one was younger. I think one might have been the mom and one was either the sister of the mom, so the aunt of the other girl, but there was a younger one that could have been a daughter of one of the two women. This little girl was dressed as if she was a teenager. I know this girl couldn't have been no more than like 10, 11, or 12. And I'm like, you see how that girl dressed? I'm like, now, dad must be off somewhere else, or the dad's not in the picture. I said, because if a father was in her life, that would have never went down. You see what I'm saying? The parenting dynamic, the women front loaded, and then as the children get older, the father is more necessary, is more needed as they get older, because as they get starting to like boys or girls, and they start going through these life things, they're going to need those life lessons that sometimes women don't get to experience because they don't get to see the lens or get to see life through the lens of a man. So let's go down and read some more. This video was filmed inside the family home by another sibling, who then shared it with an older brother. That sibling subsequently posted the footage to social media, which was Facebook, prompting immediate public outcry and law enforcement action. The footage shows Staples hitting the child, lifting him up by his hair, which I thought that was very excessive, and yelling profanities. According to investigators, the final strike landed on the child's arm. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office confirmed Staples is the mother of the child in the video, and the incident did occur or did not occur at school. Cottage Hill Christian Academy terminated Staples' employment following the release of the video and law enforcement findings. The school was previously honored her as the Teacher of the Year in May 2025. Wow. In fact, highlighting in a now deleted post on Facebook, administrators stated they became aware of the alleged abuse on November 19th and acted swiftly in, in coordination with authorities. Sheriff Birch noted that the situation presents a dual personality contrast between her respected professional image and the abusive behavior captured at home. Staples was booked into Mobile Metro Jail and released on a $7,500 bond on November 20th. The Department of Human Resources is involved in the ongoing investigation, and all children in the household have been placed with a family member for safety. Authorities, included Sheriff Birch and District Attorney Keith Blackwood, anticipate additional findings as the investigation progresses. Birch stated there was never any question or doubt that Staples would be arrested given the severity of the evidence. Yeah, and it's just a very unfortunate case, right? How you can have a person that you see in public just seems to be the ideal or the model citizen, but behind closed doors in private, you're a goddamn tyrant against your children. It was only a matter of time before it got out, because if you were doing this and your children are getting older, they start to understand things and they see things and they know that that wasn't right, and that wasn't right. That right there looked like a fucking flat out Karen moment. And then the icing on the cake was where you take him when he falls and you pull him up by his hair. Do you even love your child at that point? Do you get what I'm saying? It's hard to come to your defense when the evidence is stacked against you and it looks that bad. There is no there's no way you could try to flip that and make it look right or say that that was okay. You want to have integrity because that means you're going to be the same person in public that you are when you're in private. You see what I'm saying? You have a certain level of moral ethics and standards that you follow and that you abide by in your own life. So it's disingenuous to be a school educator and be awarded the Teacher of the Year, but at home you're on top flight carrying activity for simply not completing chores when you wanted them to complete the chores. You understand what I'm saying? There are a number of things that you could have done to reprimand him for not doing his chores when you wanted him to do it. Video games, you could have took them for a day. He could have not been able to go out with his friends that weekend. There are a number of things that you could have done. He may have been a troubled child for her. He may have been, just some child that, some children just get under their parents' skins. I don't know. I can't really justify what she's doing, but I do know one thing though. Make sure to dot your I's, cross your T's. Let me know how you feel with this. Do y'all think that was excessive? Get in the conversation, let me know. It's your boy Alex. I'll catch you on the next one.